Hello from the National Museum of Women in the Arts. March is National Women's History Month, and March 8th is International Women's Day, where we celebrate all 3.8 billion of us. But immigrant women are often forgotten, even though they're huge driving forces for the economy and our society. Immigrant women have higher labor participation rates, but they earn much less than native-born women. But nevertheless, a lot of immigrant women are breaking through, and that's what we're celebrating in this month's Think Table issue. For this Think Table issue, we're lucky to chat with Reshma Saujani, the founder of Girls Who Code, an NGO created in 2012 to equip young women to pursue careers in computer science and technology.
Girls Who Code's a movement to close a gender gap in computer science and technology. Less than 20% of the technology workforce is female. And when you think about if we're going to find a cure to cancer, COVID, or climate, we're going to need women and women of color sitting around the table. Half the girls we teach are under the poverty line or are Black or Latina. And so we believe that girls are creators, they're innovators. They will literally save us and heal us. And so our mission is to teach as many of them to code so they can change or solve the problems of today and tomorrow.
Reshma's Indian parents fled their native Uganda to find a home in the US, and she has broken so many glass ceilings, struggling to find her voice as the daughter of recently arrived immigrants.
My family came here as refugees in 1973. They escaped the dictator Idi Amin. They came to Chicago, Illinois, because they took out a map of the United States, got a dart through it, and that's where it landed. And so, even though they were both trained engineers, my father worked as a machinist in a plant. My mother sold cosmetics. And my dad would always read to me these Reader's Digest books about Dr. King and Mahatma Gandhi. And I don't know, I grew up having this deep love and affection for this country and wanting to give back to the nation that had literally saved my parents' life. Being the daughter of immigrants, I learned so much, and it's such a huge part of who I am.
Immigrant women serve vital roles in our labor force, whether they are teachers, healthcare workers, restaurant owners, or CEOs. During COVID, we all learned that about 20% of healthcare workers are immigrants. But I bet you didn't know that 3/4 of those healthcare workers are women immigrants. Immigrant women are also founders and CEOs of many companies we know and need. PepsiCo is led by Indra Nooyi, born to Indian parents. Mary Barra, who leads General Motors, is a daughter of Finnish parents. And 23andMe was founded by Ann Wojcicki, who has Polish parents. These are just a few of the amazing immigrant women making dents in history. You ran for Congress as the first Indian American woman. And how does it feel now where we have a vice president who's an immigrant, also from Southeast Asia?
I cried. Kamala Devi Harris, what? I never imagined in my life that could happen. And, to all the Black girls, all the brown girls, all the Asian girls, right? All of us now, you can be anything and everything. You cannot be what you cannot see. And so the power of role models, right? The power of seeing someone with your identity, your story, your journey, becoming, one of the most powerful people in the world, that's how things change.
What is your advice to all those, as you mentioned, immigrant girls watching you and watching now more role models? What can they do to make a difference?
To be brave, not perfect. And, the thing that I've realized, and I'm realizing this as I think about my next second act is of my life, is that you can build it yourself. I always tease, if I had applied to be the CEO of Girls Who Code, I wouldn't have gotten the job. I ran for office twice and lost twice. And so sometimes you have to make up your own destiny.
There's no doubt that immigrant women and girls have shaped who we are as a society. Today, there's about 23 million immigrant women and girls living in the United States, and many of them, like Reshma Saujani, have broken barriers and smashed glass ceilings to get where they are. To learn more about this, as well as many other immigrant-related topics, follow us on social media @ImmigrantFood, join our newsletter, and join us inside the restaurant to stay united at the table. See you guys next month.